Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kayla and it's time to crack into a good book. So today I'm going to be doing the 2 books, 1 stone, I think, tag. So I was tagged by Ramsey at Rajathon and I'll leave his channel link down below. But it's kind of like a short little fun tag, so let's get started. Obviously, like all of these questions have something to do with 2. So the first one is, what is the second to last book you read? The second to last book that I finished was The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. So this was technically a buddy read, but I don't know, the discussions weren't happening as much as like I thought they would be, and I just ended up really wanting to get through the story anyway, so I just kind of like went off on my own path. But I did really like this. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. You'll see my thoughts about it most likely in the mid-month review that I'll, or the mid-month wrap-up that I'll do for October, maybe next week. So the second question is, what is the second to the top of your TBR? So I don't know, I'm such a mood reader, so like I don't generally know like what order I want to read things, but I'll just mention that one of the books that I want to read this month is Murder on Millionaire's Row, and this is by Erin Lindsay. So this is set in the Gilded Age in Manhattan, and it's like kind of like a mystery detective story, but there are ghosts in it. I think our main character is a housemaid and like her employer goes missing or something like that. But yeah, so like the supernatural elements make me think that like this would be a good book to pick up this month. Question 3 is, what are 2 2-star books that you've read? I guess I've kind of like just written little shorthand notes, but yeah, so a couple of them that I read most recently, or more recently I guess, are Obscura and Hero Forge. So I talked about both of these in more detail in my September end of the month wrap up, so I'll try to leave that link down below and just like not go into a lot of detail here, but because we don't need to revisit that. Question 4 are, what are 2 great books by the same author? So I'm gonna go with Brandon Sanderson, and the 2 that I'll mention are Elantris and The Way of Kings. So these are, I mean, generally like the Stormlight Archive and Elantris are probably my favorite of Brandon Sanderson's books. This one I think is Elantris, maybe his first book that was published. I don't remember, or first book that he wrote or something like that. I think maybe people don't tend to like this much, but I really enjoyed it. And then obviously the Stormlight Archive is amazing. I don't know, for the sake of a short video, I think I probably won't go into too much detail about either of these today. Question 5 is, what are 2 bails or DNFs? So I haven't DNF'd that many books this year, but 2 of them that I have DNF'd are Moonburner and Flamecaster. So I talked about Moonburner in my September end of the month wrap up, and Flamecaster I think was in August maybe. Yeah, just wasn't enjoying either of them. Just got bored and I was like, I don't really care what's happening. Question 6 are, what are 2 of your favorite reads of the year? So, I mean, I have a whole bunch of 5-star reads, but I figured I would try to talk about a few different ones than the ones that I like keep mentioning a billion times. So the first one I'll talk about is Empire Stand by Tasha Suri. It's a fantasy with some romance. The main character has like magical powers, and the Emperor basically like finds out about these powers and kind of captures her, I think, and like forces her to work for him. And so it's like all about rebelling, and I don't know. It was really good. The sequel comes out in November and I'm very excited for it. The other book that I'll talk about is Storm Curse by Patricia Biggs. I'm not sure what book number this is in the Mercy Thompson series, but I've loved all of these books. It's an urban fantasy, maybe paranormal romance. I think maybe, I don't know. That distinction kind of gets blurry sometimes. So Mercy is a coyote shifter and like deals a lot with the werewolf pack. This particular one deals with the fae more. But yeah, that's a really fun urban fantasy series. Question 7 is just like, what are 2 new favorite booktubers? So, I mean, I can't mention everybody I want to, but so I think I'll just mention the 2 people that I'll end up tagging to do this tag. But that's Chantel at Chantel Reads and Janine from Janine the Reading Queen. Both of them are really great. You should check them out. I'll leave their channels linked down below. Question 8 is, what is the book that you've read twice? The one that I chose to talk about is Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. It's a high fantasy book that, I mean, I don't know how much detail to go into because I'm sure a lot of you already know what this is about. But it's like our main character is like recounting his life and just adventures. I really like The Name of the Wind and Wise Man's Fear. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but it did work for me. So question 9 is, what are 2 fabulous quotes from books that you read? So I don't really like keep track of quotes all that well. So instead, I'm going to read you 2 short little poems from a book that I think I must have gotten it for free last year, but the book is called Lullabies for Dungeon Crawlers, and it's just, I think, an entire collection of poems that are related to like gaming and stuff. So a lot of them are pretty nerdy and kind of funny. So one, for example, is tank and healer, sides of a coin, yin, yang, life, death, alpha, omega. Without them, everyone dies. Thank them now and then. So I don't know, I kind of thought that was funny because like in a lot of games I tend to play both tank and healer, so I don't know, I just thought that was funny. Anyway, and then the other poem that I'll read is rolling dice, possibility, success, failure, who knows? Stomach aflutter in that infinitesimal eternity between letting the dice go and the number showing. Will I cry? Yes! Or scream, no! Let's find out. So, I don't know, I thought both of those were kind of amusing, so there we go. We have 2 poems. And the last question is, tag a number of booktubers divisible by 2, and like I mentioned, I'm going to tag both Chantel and Janine, and again, I'll leave their channels linked down below. But yeah, so there's like a very quick, fun book tag. I don't know, I didn't feel like going into a whole bunch of details on these books today, so we'll just end it there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Have you read any of these books? If you liked this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, because that would certainly help me. But with that, I think I will end it here and see you in the next one.